All right, we got derailed, but chapter 11.
Oh, is this my turn?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right, so Violet has just climbed up the rope, and now she has realized that it's attached to a hook, and so the hook man says, "How nice of you to join us." So he brings Violet up there. He has a walkie-talkie to Count Olaf. So now he's discussing things with him. And then I think Olaf's plan is to bring Klaus up there, and then are they all locked up in the tower? Is that what happened?
I know. It's like Scooby-Doo villain. They lock them all up in the tower, but they don't tie them up. So these meddling kids can still plan and plot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was an Easter egg in here. There's
a lot of lines in here that are kind of concerning in the same vein of what we've been talking about.
Yes. You want to go through them?
Okay. Well, so when Hook Guy is on the walkie-talkie with Count Olaf, he says, we only hear his half of the conversation, but there's this one part where he says, "Yes, boss, yes. Yes, of course I understand. She's yours. Yes, boss." Then he goes, "Count Olaf is very displeased with his bride." All of it.
Yes. That's disgusting.
Gross.
So there was a little Easter egg in here that I only would have picked out because we did our Wikipedia search ahead of time.
Oh.
You ready? So it flips back to Lemony Snicket. And he says, like, Violet's like looking around the room. And so then it pans to him. He says, "In my room, for instance, I've gathered a collection of objects that are important to me, including a dusty accordion on which I can play a few sad songs." And then he lists some other stuff. But as we know, David Handler played the accordion.
Wow.
Yeah.
He and Lemony have some. Oh, I found out where the name Lemony Snicket came from.
Oh, what is it?
Well, I don't know if this is the full story, but at least part of it is he wanted to get some journals or pamphlets or something from these groups, like we kind of talked about last time. I think they were like right-wing groups and like religious groups or something. And he's like, "But I don't want my name on them." So he gave him the name Lemony Snicket. But then all of his friends thought it was so funny that they all started giving the name Lemony Snicket for like dinner reservations and for like pizza orders or like just for anything. They were all Lemony Snicket. And so now the more I
learn about this author, the more concerned I am. The more I'm like, like, how like the little cuties had for a while, they're like, "Oh, you can get like child brides on Wayfair." I'm thinking this book, maybe you get child bride somehow. Like there's secret things. It's a whole spy thing. BFD is actually, it's actually like a human trafficking ring. Like, I don't know. Gosh. It's not about fires. I'm putting my tinfoil hat on.
So, he's going to Epstein Island. Is that basically what's going on?
Well, they end up on an island.
That is true.
And I'm sure if we were to do the reread, as Chrissy said, maybe it would turn into Epstein's Island and we would find some similarities. I don't know. We can't be certain.
It was a culty kind of island. I don't think it was Epstein Island, though, but there still could be something there.
I think if we looked hard enough, I think we would find the signs.
Okay, what do you guys think about all the eyes? Does that just mean like Olaf's always watching? It's creepy. Is there another meaning there?
The eyes?
Yeah, like in that room.
Doesn't it have to deal with like the secret society thing?
Yeah, but like any reason it's an eye.
Is
it like Big Brother reference?
I think if it's coming to me, the I actually spells VFD.
Really? Does it?
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. Maybe I just made that up.
I don't remember that, but it could.
All the real Snicket heads out there are like yelling into their phones right now.
Yeah. All 10 of them.
All the Snickers.
Yeah, the I is a symbol of VFD with the letters hidden in it.
Whoa, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, I totally forgot about Alfukunt being Count Olaf.
I know. I think every book he has a pseudonym that's just a what's that called? Anagram?
An anagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a shuffling of his name.
Yeah, that's Count Olaf.
I've been thinking a lot about Harry Potter today, I guess, because I was thinking about Alfukunt, I was thinking of, spoiler alert, Tom Riddle is Lord Voldemort. But it didn't seem as contrived as, because what was it? It was like, I am Lord Count or I am Lord Voldemort or something was
I
like an
am
anagram.
Tom Riddle.
Yeah,
He's
I
Lord
am
Voldemort.
Tom. Yeah. And you're just like, okay, JK, she reverse engineered this. Like, I am the Tom Riddle or something. And you're just like, okay. But anyway.
Yeah, it is kind of funny, as I saw on the Reddits earlier today, is that someone who they're saying like, yeah, when I read this book as a kid, I really loved it. And then I read it as an adult, I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. It's like, but as a kid, I had just read Harry Potter and then I read Lemony Snicket. And it's like, every book for my age group is about a sad orphan boy who has to save the world through their own wit and power.
Yes.
There are some striking similarities here.
So Violet says, well, you know what? If I had some kerosene, I could make Molotov cocktails, which I thought was like, wow, that's like escalating very quickly. Because she's like, I have empty bottles, and if I could get kerosene, then I could make bombs. And you're like, okay. And then Klaus is like, we could get out of this if we were polygamists. And I was like, that's just more child brides. That's worse.
Yeah, that was a weird
dude. You know what
Yeah.
I want to put into the minds of every small child? What about if you were a polygamist and I was your Olaf?
What if you were married, but double married, quadruple married, married 20 times? The more, the merrier. Yes.
That's the slogan.
Chapter 12?
Yeah. All right, this is mine. So the end of chapter 11, they get a warning where they say, if anything goes wrong during our play tonight, your sister's going to be dropped to her death. Okay. So chapter 12 starts, and now we're at the play. Count Olaf's troop is all there. Justice Strauss is there. Justice Strauss is over the moon. She can't wait for her big debut. As far as we know, the kids are still trying to come up with their plan. As they're getting ready backstage, Mr. Poe comes up with his whole family all nicely dressed, and he said, we can't wait for the performance, children. We're so glad you're getting along well with your new family. And then let's see, then I think the play starts. Oh, actually we get the whole play here. So the first half is I think rather boring. And then they get to the second half where the actual marriage is, and Justice Strauss marries Count Olaf and Violet Baudelaire, and the chapter ends with Klaus watching Violet sign the document with her left hand trembling as she signed her name. The end.
I didn't have anything here. I did like the word insipid, which means dull and foolish. And I was like, oh, that's a good one. I need to try to mix that in.
That's good.
I did find it interesting that Mr. Poe can make time for them to go to this really horrible community theater in Olaf's dump yard, but he can't make any time for them to actually help them.
He has a thing for the arts, the finer things.
I suppose so.
The Finer Things Club.
Yep.
It all goes back. Oh, okay.
Anything?
Mr. Poe's wife is named Polly. Polly Poe.
Polly Poe.
Polly Poe. Or is it just kind of like
Probably
a silly
Poe.
name?
Because I feel like we found out that his name is like Edgar Poe or
These
something.
kids' names are Edgar and Alan. Or no,
Yeah.
Edgar and Albert or something. Edgar
I
Albert Poe.
wonder who was Poe in love with? Wasn't he like hopelessly in love with someone?
I don't know. He had that heart in his basement or whatever, right?
What?
In the baseboards. No, isn't that a poem? There's like the thump thump, and it's a heart.
That's Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, isn't it we're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm searching his Wikipedia page because that's all the research we do here.
Edgar Allan Poe's wife was Virginia Eliza Clem Poe.
Yeah. Not seeing anything about Polly Pocket.
Oh wow, they were first cousins. That's very interesting.
Blech.
Biographers disagree as to the nature of the couple's relationship.
What? But they're
I don't know
married.
what that means. I guess they're disagree as to how the marriage went. I don't know.
Okay. All right. All right. We need to
Yeah.
get out of Poe's wiki. That seems there's a lot going on there we are not ready to tackle. I think it was just a silly name.
I think so.
That's my final answer.
We do see Violet and Klaus make one last ditch effort to talk to Mr. Poe, and they say, Mr. Poe, we have something to tell you. But just at that moment, Count Olaf appears out of nowhere with his walkie-talkie that goes straight to Sunny's cage. And they say, we just wanted to say thank you for everything. We love our new life here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and Klaus makes like a weak attempt for Justice Strauss, and he's like, "You don't need to stick to the legal ceremony. It's not a real wedding."
Oh yeah.
And she's like, "Well, I want to do well, so I'm going to follow what Olaf says because he's in charge." So poor kids. Yep.
I still can't believe Klaus and Sunny were going to be the midgets in the.
That's a good question. Why isn't anyone asking where Sunny is?
I mean, why would a baby be in a play anyway?
Because I think the Baudelaires already said that they're going to be midgets in the show.
We can't wait. I mean, that could have been something they said to Mr. Poe. They're like, hey, we can't find Sunny. Or Olaf would probably just lie about it. So maybe that wouldn't do anything.
This goes back to how the adults in just about in all of these books are terrible.
Yeah. Okay, so chapter 13?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the last chapter, unlucky number 13.
Oh, right.
I feel like all the books have 13 chapters or something.
Wow, that would make a lot of sense. I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah. And there's 13 books too.
Yeah. Wow, he thought of it all.
Okay. Yep. So Count Olaf, in true Scooby-Doo fashion, as soon as his plan is executed, he immediately reveals it to everyone so that he can be caught. And he says that his marriage to Violet Baudelaire is perfectly legal, and he's now in control of her entire fortune. And then Justice Strauss and Poe are like, no, that can't be. And they go back and forth. And then Justice Strauss is like, this, per the law, this was legit. And even though they're disgusted by it, they're like, I guess it has to be. And then they get out of it based on a technicality because per the law, it says that you have to sign it in your hand, meaning like your primary writing hand, but Violet used her left hand instead. And so then she gets out of it. And then they're like, we're going to go ahead and arrest Olaf, but he makes an escape. And then the book ends with Mr. Poe being like, you can't stay with Justice Strauss because she's not your relative. And you need to go back with me in my horrible home. And then I'm going to find out where to put you next. The end.
Yeah. It is just outrageous. As soon as the scene doesn't even end, just they say that line, and Count Olaf turns and says, there's no reason to continue the performance. We're now married. Oh my gosh. Okay, one of my big questions. Oh, what are you going to say?
I was going to pull out a line that I thought was funny. But
okay, go for it.
It says, Olaf said, and in addition to being her husband, I'm her legal guardian. It's like, that's not everything you need to know.
It's so gross.
So gross. Yeah. So what were you gonna say, Chrissy?
Okay, so they're married now. Klaus is like, "Hey, you need to let Sonny go," and everyone's like, "Yeah, where is Sonny?" And then the bald man, who's one of Olaf's henchmen, is like, "Don't worry, he'll take care of you guys." Then Mr. Poe goes, "Well, I'm not satisfied at all. This is absolutely horrendous. This is completely monstrous. This is financially dreadful."
Okay, I underlined that too. Why did you underline it?
Well, I thought the financially dreadful was just so funny because it's like, are you kidding? That's what you're worried about?
I have a conspiracy theory.
Oh, Mr. Poe's in cahoots with Olaf?
No.
Oh, what?
Mr. Poe does not want the Baudelaires to use their fortune because it's funding the bank.
Oh.
So he keeps putting them in places where they cannot access, like he does not help them at all to access their money.
This is a good theory.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I underlined it because it's like financially dreadful. I was like, that doesn't make sense unless it's for his bank and his job.
Oh.
And if he lets them run off with all their money and spend it, then the bank's not going to have any money left.
That's a good thought.
It's a good theory.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Like it.
Hats are on.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't think Mr. Poe is looking out for the children.
Well, that's blatantly obvious.
Yeah, that's true. If there was any doubt as to how of a pedo Count Olaf is, the line is, "Now, if you will excuse me, my bride and I need to go home for our wedding night."
Oh.
Blech, blech, blech.
Oh my
Blech.
gosh.
No doubt. There's no doubt now.
Oh
Disgusting.
my gosh. But yeah, all the adults are just kind of bound within the legal system where they're like, well, that is legal. You're like,
what you gonna do?
Yeah.
I know.
You're like, what? Okay, here's where my okay, no, actually there's another line before that. Oh yeah, okay. I thought this line was funny. So he's talking about laws, and so Violet proved that she had signed it with her left hand, and so it wasn't actually legal. And Justice Strauss said, "Yes, that's right. It's not legal." And everyone's like, "Woohoo!" And then Lemony Snicket is like, this might sound kind of strange, but there's a lot of weird laws in a lot of places. For example, a certain island has a law that forbids anyone from removing its fruit. And a town not too far from where you live has a law that bars me from coming within 5 miles of its borders.
This is another, this guy, I took this, especially in the context of all this, as like, oh, Lemony Snicket is a sexual predator not allowed near a school.
That's why he can never find the Baudelaires. He always has to be 5 miles away from them.
That explain a lot.
Honestly, the book would make a lot more sense. Because he's always like, I'm like 2 days behind them, or I'm 5 miles away. I'm never quite there. So he doesn't want to incriminate himself by writing these books saying that he was within the perimeter. So did you underline that? Yeah, I think so. I think there might be a lot of hidden tinfoil hat mysteries in here. So did you underline that for anything else other than it was funny?
I just thought it was funny. I thought it was witty that it's like a town not too far from where you live. Like, I don't know. I didn't think about it as like a sexual predator thing. I was thinking arson or something.
I underlined the line before it because it says a certain island that has a law that forbids anyone from removing its fruit. And I believe one of the last books when they're on the island, I think that you're like not allowed. There's something with the fruit there.
Oh,
and you're like not allowed to take it or something. And I was wondering if this was like long con foreshadowing. Like he kind of had this idea in his mind, or that's a real law and he just said it.
I feel like that could be a law where it's like it's an invasive species or something, like you can't take the fruit off the island because it only is native to that place. I feel like based off what we've talked about the series so far, he was not thinking this far ahead.
I don't think so.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, all right. So this whole thing has happened. Sunny gets returned, and then Count Olaf says, "Well, you may not be my wife, but you are still my daughter." And then finally, Mr. Poe steps in. He's like,
Ugh.
"You can't be their guardian. This was all terrible." And then they get him on the legal standpoint from him dangling Sunny out the window. And they said, well, it was legal for you to marry Violet, but it was definitely illegal for you to dangle Sunny outside of your tower. And they said,
oh my God.
And then here's where the line where I was like, wait, where'd these people come from? Because now all of a sudden the crowd comes and there's like this mob mentality and they're all like, arrest him. And I'm like, who else is in this audience? Who came to see this play?
It seems like nothing happens in this town, and this little community theater in a dumpster was put on, and they were like, thank God there's entertainment. And they all got dressed up and they're in this dump and they're watching this boring play, but they're still sticking around because why not?
Because why not?
Okay, also, Mr. Poe arrests Count Olaf. He says, I arrest you in the name of the law. So I don't think you can do that.
That's telling you, illegal. Mr. Poe. He's into some stuff that's beyond banking. He might be in the mafia.
He's the mafia, yeah. He's the head honcho.
He's probably laundering the Baudelaire's fortune right now.
Probably.
I feel like that's the end. That's book 14. They go to get their fortune and Mr. Poe has spent it all.
He's running a Ponzi scheme out of his bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so funny.
All right. So that's the end. Anything else?
Well, so the book ends with they're like, we're going to arrest Count Olaf. And Justice Strauss is like, you're going to live with me. And it's all happy. But then, of course, as Lemony Snicket reminds us, there are no happy endings here. A whole kerfuffle happens. Olaf escapes. Mr. Poe says, Justice Strauss isn't family. You can't live with her. And so they do go back to Mr. Poe's miserable house. Olaf escapes. And we're on to book 2.
Mm-hmm. Something I thought interesting is that once I flipped to the very end, it talks about Lemony Snicket. And I think that's cool how he like keeps the illusion that Lemony Snicket's really a person and he has like a biography on him and
yeah,
like you never really see him. So it was always interesting as a kid. But Brett Hellquist, who is the artist, he went to Brigham Young University, which I believe our Mr. Sanderson went there as well.
Yeah, maybe they knew each other.
Mormon University, baby.
I know. Maybe that's how polygamy got in here. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh my
gosh. Okay, so what would you rate this book? How many bookies is it getting? Bookaliciouses. Bookies.
Is it out of 5 or out of 10?
5. Unless you want to double it, then it can be 10. That's just math.
That's why she's Violet.
I'd give it a 6.5, maybe a 7.
Okay.
3.5.
Yeah. 3.25, somewhere in that range.
I think it's hard for me to give it a score because it was just such a integral part of my childhood where I'm like 10 out of 5. The number that came to mind was 4, but I'm like, if I were to read this just independently, I think maybe I'd be more in the 3.5 range too. Just I think I would give it weird themes.
Yes, I think it does get some derogatory marks
Deductions.
for that. Deductions, yeah. I didn't realize this book was so impactful to you.
I love this series. Yeah. I mean, I just read, I don't know. I guess because we all read them and there's 13 of them. So, I mean, it took me a while. I feel like this is
Mm-hmm.
probably also one of the first series that I really read.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's part of it too.
That's kind of how I feel more about Harry Potter.
hmm Yeah, I read those later.
Yeah.
So, and I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess just because there were so many books and like they were kind of long. So I just felt like I was always
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with Sunny, Klaus, and Violet.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. All right, what's your score?
Yeah, I think same thing. 3.5. 3.5. I think it's very entertaining. I thought it was written very well. I really enjoy the writing style.
Yeah.
Um, the author does a really good job just kind of painting this bleak world, and then you just see these little pockets of color every now
hmm
and then trying to peek out. And I just I just really enjoyed all of that. But some of these themes are a little like, okay, like we talked about.
The book is not aged well.
No.
And I don't know if it like was smelling super pretty with all like kind of like the pedo stuff
Yeah.
early, you know, but like I just did not enjoy that at all.
Yeah. Did you remember all that before
No,
you started? Yeah.
no, I didn't remember any of that.
Did you read this before, Sam, or is this your first time reading it?
I think it's my first time reading the book, but like watching the movie or the shows, I don't remember that. Maybe they kind of downshifted some of that
I
from
think
it.
so. I think they did.
Maybe that's why Handler got fired. He was like, no, no, you
Not
need
how the
to
story was
keep it.
written.
Yeah, it's not how the story was written. We need more pedo tones. We need to be overtones, not undertones. And Disney said, we really can't. We can't. You're out. Yeah. So, what questions would you have for Handler?
How
Okay.
autobiographical is Olaf?
Same.
Great question.
Do we need to have a FBI probe done? Investigation. If we,
Yeah.
David Handler, if we were to confiscate your computer today, how comfortable would you feel? I think that's a
Oh.
good question. I'd want to know why he named Klaus Klaus and Sunny Sunny.
Yeah, that was my question, was what's the story behind all the names? Because I think there's a reason for all of them. But I feel like it's probably
Mm-hmm.
like clever. I'm missing out on it.
I would be curious how he kind of came up with this theme and the book, and how did it all kind of come about?
Well, I can let you know what I learned from my little interview that I read
Oh.
earlier. So he had written this one book that he thought was a really good book, but like it got rejected by a lot of publishers. I think eventually it did end up like selling and it was like pretty good. And then he was working on a book called The Series of Unfortunate Events, but it just like wasn't working and he's feeling really down. And it was similar premise to what we just read, but they weren't children, they were all adults. And
Oh.
then he took a second look at the book and oh, his other book was about like young adults or something. And basically his publisher was like, you're really good at capturing the experience of children. Maybe what if you wrote a children's book? And he said, okay. So then he took his book and he said, this works a lot better if these are actually children instead of adults. And now we have a series of unfortunate events.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know how much changed between first draft and second draft.
He does a real he like to the editor's point, he does a really good job at capturing like how children would feel. Like I said, like with
Yeah.
that pit in the stomach, like not being able to verbalize it. And he does it in such a way like the show, not tell, which is hard to do in a book.
Yeah.
But again, with everything else, it does give you pause as to how he got so good at that. And you're like, bleh, bleh. Any other questions?
Well, we all want to know what VFD is and the Sugar Bowl and the actual plot things.
Oh yeah.
Um, what character would he be?
Lemony Snicket.
Yeah.
Well, he'd be Lemony Snicket.
Oh, I guess that's true. He's a narrator.
He'd either be that or Olaf. And maybe he's both.
Oh, yikes. Like little Jekyll and Hyde. He's
Yeah.
trying to solve the mystery and make the mystery.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that.
Yikes.
All right, Chrissy, what did you find on Read It Like Reddit?
Okay, so I've talked about a lot of things already, but some of the things that we haven't talked about yet is that some people had issues with the ending of the book where they were like, it was a really great book, great story, but really it ended with her signing with her left hand. I know that this series is ironic, but this time I think it didn't work. We know how Daniel Handler can give us good endings, and this one was bad. What do you think? Bad ending?
Well, it was a bad beginning.
Only fitting.
I was thinking like part of it is like, oh, it's like a weird like technicality, but I think what I like about it now that I've thought about it is that the whole book is about rhetoric and basically like taking words out of context. And so I feel like it kind of fits in that sense where it's like at first the Baudelaires are trying to play by normal logic rules, but all the parents are in this like weird rhetoric thing where they twist meanings of words and they get away with it. So then they play that game and then they win.
That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah. What do you think, Sam? What did you think about the ending and how Violet got out by a technicality?
It was stupid, but so was the fact that she was going to be married stupid. Like, it works for the purposes of the story, right? But I don't think that there's anywhere that that is true or would hold up in court, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that you can marry your daughter, right? Like, as the dad, and they're gonna hold that up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
that does not seem like that's gonna stand. And the fact that the judge thought it would stand says a lot about whatever country they're living in.
That's true.
So as dumb as I think it is that her left hand gets her out of it, I think the entire situation was dumb to get into to begin with.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a kid's book, right? It's not a terrible plot idea outside of the fact that Olaf like is creepy and is creepy about it with her. And
Yes.
so if you didn't have those kind of like sexual molestation undertones,
Yes.
I think like the idea is fine. You know, like I'm gonna marry you to get the money.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Those are kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't know what another way to get out of it would be. And I think you're right. That does kind of fit in this whole theme of everything is absurd. So this just kind of fits.
Yeah.
Well, one way is for the adults to be like, nah, that doesn't count. They rip up the sheet. It's done. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if that had happened though, that would have like discounted like the high stakes that it was from the whole time, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like,
but
that
it's
one
not high stakes because it couldn't have happened. Now, there's a different thing that could happen, right? Is that he murders the children. That is a very legitimate fear that I think he would most definitely do.
Yeah.
But it's also like, without having read the whole series, but being somewhat familiar with the TV shows, this is kind of like his thing, right? Like wild, harebrained ideas.
Yeah.
To get the stuff.
Well, I think that's why it's so funny because it's like everyone else is like operating in these like really wackadoo rules. And then the children who are the youngest are the only ones who are operating by normal rules.
Right.
And so it's like that surprising irony of the parents and the adults who should be the ones who are following normal rules are being crazy, and then it's the kids who have to be the adults.
Mm-hmm.
He like comes up with like the Wile E. Coyote scheme to get the money.
Yeah,
When the fastest way to get the money is just put pressure on Poe. Like, if you're this evil genius, why don't you like essentially like kidnap Poe and get him to sign the money out for you?
because Poe is actually a mob boss,
See,
and
that's
Olaf is scared of him.
that makes a lot more sense, right?
I know.
Like, but if Poe's a mob boss, like even if you had a legitimate way to get the money, is he actually going to give you the money?
I don't know, but it's his only chance. I also want to know how Olaf is actually related to them, or if he's just related to them, like because all people are somewhat related to each other. I'm sure if if you went all the way back.
Well, he's a third cousin 4 times removed, or a fourth cousin 3 times removed. That's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
distant.
Yeah, I feel like Strauss could also be their cousin.
So if he's a third cousin, right?
Yeah.
And then removed would be across marriage lines, not bloodlines, if I recall
Yeah.
the terminology. So he's
Mhm.
3 generations above them,
Yeah.
right? So he would be grandfather,
Okay.
and then grandfather level generation, and then he's 4 marriages removed.
Well, I think he went to school with their parents, so I don't know that he would be grandfather age. But maybe he
I'm saying
lied.
that's what a third,
Yeah.
or and then the other one was a fourth cousin, which would be great grandfather. Now that's just in terms of generations, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't there's President Tyler, his grandson was alive until recently, and
Hmm.
Tyler was a president in the 1800s, and it's
Oh
because
wow.
he had a kid in his like late 60s or 70s, and then his son had a kid in his late 60s or 70s, and then his grandson
Hmm.
lived until he was like 90.
Wow.
So, but that's only 3 generations, but it covers like almost
Hmm.
200 years.
Hmm.
So, I guess my point being is when you look at family kind of that far ranging, it's not
Hmm.
impossible, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we also don't know how old he is.
No, we don't.
I mean,
Yeah.
he
We
very well could be like 70.
Well, actually, we do know how old he is because he went to school with the Baudelaire's parents.
How old were the Baudelaire parents when they had the Baudelaires?
Well, so that I guess that's true. You're assuming they're probably in their 40s or 50s if
Right.
the mom just had a baby. So
Also
you would
assuming
think,
that Count Olaf went to school right out of high school,
right?
right? But this seems like the kind of guy who would have done like a 4-year gap year.
Well, I think they were actually kidnapped as children. That's like the whole shtick. And then they get brainwashed together. So they're probably close in age. They might not be the same age, but probably within a decade minimum
Yeah.
or maximum.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I think he's older, and then his if you assume what we hear is correct, right?
Hmm.
Third cousin 4 times removed, or fourth cousin 3 times removed. I
Hmm.
mean, that's a lot of family to move through. Like a lot
Yeah.
of different family lines,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's all by marriage.
Right. All right, Chrissy, what else did you find and read it by Reddit?
Well, okay, I have more Reddit things, but also while we've been talking, I've discovered we've been looking at the wrong Wikipedia page because there's a Snicket fandom wiki that would have a lot more info
Oh.
for us, but it's too late now, so I'm going back to my Reddit page. Okay. I've been looking through that. Okay, so my next thing on Reddit is that there were two different opinions. One is that let's see, that it's not absurdist enough. One person said that Sunny's biting and Snicket's explaining of her words is probably the most absurd thing. The rest plays pretty straightforward and can almost exist as a realistic narrative in parts. Whereas someone else said, the absurdity is dialed up to the extreme. I would like to think that the real message is people who refuse to listen are at best unhelpful and at worst perpetuating the crimes and abuse being committed. Okay, that second part actually wasn't related to absurdity, but just the fact that it's too absurd.
I don't think it's too absurd. I think it's like the absurdity. I like it. I think it's like a good mix, you know, because I feel like the Baudelaires are reasonable and then everyone else is crazy. And I like that rub.
Yeah.
It's Home Alone absurdist, right?
Yeah.
Like the first half of Home Alone, that could happen. The second half, those guys should have died like 5 minutes into his House of Horrors. Like, I don't think you get back up after a hot iron hits you on the head after dropping 25 feet, right?
No.
Like you're just done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where kind of some of the absurdity comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought it was fun though. But we all agree it was absurd. It wasn't realistic.
I call it absurd.
Yeah.
I think some of the themes are realistic. I think pedos are realistic. I think abusing children is realistic. And I think not listening to kids and then them kind of closing up like we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual everything that happened, if you take it at face value, it's very absurd.
Yeah. Okay, just two more. One, okay, so this next person, I liked this one because it kind of goes along with some other things we were talking about, but this person said that I definitely picked up on all the dark and sinister possibilities when I was reading this when I was younger, but that was what drove me into them and made me wish so very much. Oh, wait, sorry. When he read them as an adult. So I definitely picked up on all the dark and sinister possibilities when he read it as an adult, but that was what drove me into them and made me wish so very much that these books had been around when I was young. Not every childhood is a happy one, and if I had had something age appropriate that also spoke to being justifiably sad about life and how to work through it without giving up, it would have helped me a great deal.
Oh, that's nice.
That was
That's
nice.
so sad.
I mean, I think there's something to be said about that, right? Is like sometimes people just have sad souls. I think sometimes I'm like a little bit of a sad soul. And so it's like nice if you have something where you're like, okay, this is something I can relate to. It's not all wonderful all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that can be inspiring and helpful in its own way.
Yeah. And I could see also if all your other reading options as a kid are like all these kids having a great life and like they have minor inconveniences, but they work through it and everything's great. It could be kind of comforting reading kids who's like, oh, they have a tough life too. And like they're still going. It's like I can go too.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I'm just sad that that person had that kind of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is sad.
That is really sad.
That's very sad. I agree.
Okay, this one I thought was so funny. They had a series of questions. Any thoughts about there being a funeral for the Baudelaire parents? Was it cut out or did it not happen? Did Olaf block the children from attending? Is it something that does not happen in this world? I would guess that Mr. Poe would have something to do with the planning details as executor of their will. I would bet he skipped it due to lack of bodies and free time.
Or Mr. Poe set the fire
to get the money. We never considered that theory. It's a good one.
I know.
Mr. Poe started the fire.
Yeah. Or I always kind of took it as the no funeral being that like maybe their parents are still alive.
Oh.
Like they never found the bodies or anything like that.
Spoiler for the rest of the series, but isn't that true? Aren't they actually alive?
No, they did.
Was that in the show?
In the show, I think they made them alive. I think they were dead in the show too, but you get to see them in like the parallel VDF story or something.
Oh, maybe
VFD.
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, they dead.
Oh, they're dead.
They are.
Yeah. Orphan stories love to tease that maybe their parents are alive, a la Harry Potter. That was so sad when he was like, "It's my dad," and it's like, "No, it's just you in a time loop." Like, no.
Yeah. Man, okay, so they're really not alive? Man,
I
okay,
think
yeah,
they're
this...
dead.
Okay, all right. Wow, well, this Wikipedia page is very insightful, so we could look into this more. But those are the most of the things I had from Read It Like Reddit.
I really like the Poe theory. I think I'm onto something there. I'd like to inquire, is Poe the big bad?
So, Sam, has Candy told you about our new podcast idea?
Are you still coming up with ideas when you're not doing the podcast, Chrissy?
Oh.
Yeah, that's how committed I am. And I'm here for the ideas, not for the execution.
Oh, okay.
No, our new podcast idea is called, what is it? Better Endings?
Better Endings.
Better Endings, where we rewrite the endings of books. Oh, that was a point I wanted to bring up, because almost all the books we've read so far were like, that was a bad ending. Our idea was way better. Except for I think this one, I'm like, that one's pretty good. Like the Left Hand thing.
The YouTube channel, How It Should Have Ended.
Oh.
Does that already exist?
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's
dang.
for movies.
Oh, so it doesn't exist.
Well,
we got a niche market here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why did I bring this up? What were we talking about?
The book, the end. You liked this ending.
I thought there was something made me think of that.
Harry Potter?
No, I don't remember.
Well,
anyways.
All right. We had a bad beginning and we're having a bad ending. So let's call it.
Oh, your Poe
right.
theory. Your Poe theory. That was it.
Oh,
so that should be the ending. Is that Poe, he's the big bad. We are rewriting the book.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If we could rewrite the book, I would make Poe the big bad. And I think that would be a twist no one would see coming. And then you find out that Olaf was a MacGuffin the whole time.
That would be good.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Well, I hope we all leave in a better mood than we started. That is the dream. Okay.
See y'all.
Love you.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Bookalicious. If you like this discussion, please rate or subscribe to our channel to help other book lovers find this content as well. If you have any questions or suggestions for future books, we'd love to hear from you at bookalicious.pod@gmail.com. As always, thanks for joining our club.